Okay, and then what's important from certainly the 1960s onwards, and there's a good book here that you could read if you like, if you're interested in the settlements. And essentially, the settlements are a massively controversial thing at the moment as well, with people saying that they are colonialism, the last sort of instance of major colonialism in the world. They're very controversial. But Gershom Gruenberg, an academic, argues that they were essentially an accident. They weren't a deliberate, strategic attempt. It wasn't carefully planned. Instead, it was almost a political accident. It was partly caused by ideology and Zionists, but it was also a more complicated process than that. He's absolutely not, Gruenberg is not arguing that because Israel sort of fell into it that they are no longer responsible. He's very clear that the settlements were wrong and have inflamed the conflict. But his point is to say that, to almost say that he does argue that they need to be dismantled if there's going to be peace. But he's almost making it a little easier, perhaps, for Israel to acknowledge that, because he's saying, well, you didn't even necessarily mean to do this as a nation. You sort of fell into it. So it is one argument. I'm not saying that is factually, historically true, but it's an important argument. Then 1973, you get the Yom Kippur War, where again it's the similar sort of main areas of conflict are in the Golan Heights and around the Suez Canal. And what this war, which is initially sort of launched by Egypt, what this does is cause enormous issues for global trade and widespread inflation. You get things like the Winter of Discontent, if anyone's heard of that in the British context. But because the Suez Canal is closed for so many years as a result of Egypt closing it, is that this conflict in a relatively small area of the world becomes an absolutely enormous global issue. So the UN are trying to solve this, and they affirm that Palestinian people have a right to independence and sovereignty. And Israel, the next sort of big step is they invade Lebanon because they want to stop the Palestine Liberation Organization. We have more massacres, essentially.